Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hey, in this video, I'm going to share 5 things with you that I think people get wrong about working with deer antler, particularly crafting a deer antler. So we're going to get into it right now. Now, the first thing a lot of people bring up in some of my videos and some of the comments is, well, don't you have to have special tools to work with deer antler? And that's totally not true. A lot of the tools that you have around your shop or in your house that you use for woodworking work perfectly well on deer antler. I'm thinking of things like a bandsaw, a hacksaw, a drill, a wood lathe, a lot of those different things that you can use to work with antler. You can drill antler, you can cut antler, you can sand it, you can carve it. All of those things that you normally would do with wood, you can do to antler with your woodworking tools. Now, when I'm talking about saws, I'm usually talking about blades with finer teeth. Now, you would not want to use this like on a table saw or a miter saw, where the teeth are a lot more coarse. If you try to do that with deer antler, it's just going to catch and bind and create a safety hazard for you. So don't use that. Use stuff with the finer teeth, like the hacksaw. If you're not comfortable with power tools, a hacksaw does a great job of cutting deer antler. What about power tools? You see in my videos, you probably see me all the time using my Dremel or my rotary micromotor tool to carve different projects, and it works just fine. If you're wanting to carve detail in the antler, this is really the way to go because it's hard to carve detail with hand tools. It's not impossible, but you can. It's easier to do it with power tools, and you can see me doing that all the time in my videos. If you just want to sculpt antler and make something simple like an antler letter opener, for example, all you need is a belt sander, or even a disc sander or something like that. Some kind of power sander I would recommend. Okay, another area that I hear a lot of objections about is, well, isn't antler hard to find, so why even bother? It's true, you can't just drive down to your hardware store or the big box store because they don't sell antler there. But what if I told you that you could drive down to your nearest pet store? That's right, in your pet store, there's a section or an aisle called chew toys. And if you peruse those aisles, you're going to find some deer antler. In fact, the one that I go to has 3 or 4 different species of deer antler, and you can buy them in smaller pieces. Now, I will say this is probably the most expensive way to get deer antler, but it's probably, if you don't have access to antler, it's probably the easiest way for you to get a piece of deer antler if you want to try this out. Now, the good thing about deer antler is that the deer species shed their antlers every year. You don't have to harm deer to get their antlers. They drop off in the late winter, early spring, and there's a ton of people out there that just go out that time of year and they collect these sheds that they find on the ground, and they turn around and sell them. In fact, you can find a lot of deer antler online. I will try to leave maybe a link or two in the description field where you can buy the antler. Now, I'm not saying it's not inexpensive, but at least when you're buying from these online suppliers, you can buy much bigger pieces of antler, so your unit cost of the deer antler is a little bit cheaper than going to the pet store. Now, another option might be if you know a family member or a friend who is an outdoorsman, maybe a hunter, and perhaps they have a supply of deer antlers. The only thing there is deer hunters may or may not want to share their antlers with you because the antlers kind of represent a memory of the hunt, and I get that. But maybe you can negotiate making them something with the deer antler, and that's a fair trade. That might be a way to persuade them to donate, some deer antlers to you. Other places you can look, you'd be surprised. You can find these in antique stores. You can find them in estate sales or yard sales. People, of course, have them, in their homes, and they may want to sell them, at a later date. So there's a lot of ways that you can get deer antler and not harm the deer. Now, the obvious or the last way you could do this is simply take a hike in the woods. If you're an outdoors person, you love getting outside, if you have access to a piece of property or land, like I said, go out towards the end of February, into March, and just look for antlers. You know, if you can figure out where the deer are traveling that time of year, or where they're bedding, or where they're feeding, look in those areas. You'd be surprised. You might just find one. And when I find one, it's always a treasure to find a deer antler in the woods. Okay, the third objection I get a lot of times about deer antler is, doesn't deer antler stink, you know, when you're working with it? And isn't the dust really harmful for you to breathe? Well, yes, both of those are totally true. And if you're not used to working with deer antler, it's a lot like maybe being in the dentist's office, a really bad dentist day, let me put it that way. And it does stink, I agree. But there are some ways that we can mitigate that. And if you're a woodworker, you know, you face this too with fine wood dust that lingers in the air, and that's not good for your lungs either. But the good thing is that the things that you use to protect your lungs for woodworking will also protect you when working with deer antler. So here are some tips to mitigate this. I would recommend going outside, and you know, you'll see me in my videos. One thing I do is I put like a cheap $20 box fan on the side of where I'm, you know, the area where I'm carving or working with deer antler, and it simply just blows all that dust and all that odor out of there, and I don't even smell it. Now, I would recommend that you invest in a good respirator. I have a couple of P100 respirators made by a company called GVS, and these work really well. They fit my face really well, and the thing I like about them is they don't fog up my glasses. It's hard to find a good dust mask that does not fog up your glasses. And if you're working with wood or you're working with antler, you need to be wearing safety glasses, you know. So this is important, and they need to be comfortable when you're wearing it with your dust mask or your respirator. Now, I would not recommend you go out and buy a big, expensive dust collection system. A lot of people talk about having dust collection systems. Now, you may already have one. If you're a wood turner or have a wood lathe, you may already have a dust collector system. And if you do, that's great, because all you got to do is pull the hose over to the area where you're working on the deer antler and turn that dust collector on. So, you know, but if you don't have it, don't worry. Now, one thing that you probably have, that most woodworkers have, is a shop vac. And those are not expensive at all. And, you know, between 50, 70, maybe $100, you can get a decent shop vac, and just pull that thing over and mount it into the area, mount the hose into the area where you're working on the deer antler. And yeah, it's going to pull that dust in. Now, if you're, you know, limited and can't work outside, you know, you have to work inside, you know, that's when I would recommend maybe some kind of filtration system. Definitely wear a dust mask and respirator, preferably a P100 respirator, you know. But think about this, you know, once you take that mask off and you're done, that antler dust or that fine wood dust, it's still floating around in the air in your shop. And that's why, you know, you need to have some kind of air purification system. And yeah, those can be a little bit pricey, but it's worth it. If you're going to be doing woodworking and working with deer antler for the long term, go ahead and protect your lungs. Go ahead and get something like that. Or, you know, like I said, work outdoors, bring the dust outside, blow it away from you, and you won't smell, put up with the odor and the dust. Okay, here's a fourth area that a lot of people wonder about or not sure about with deer antler, and they're wondering, does deer antler crafts sell? And that may not be important to all of you that are watching this video, but some of you that do make crafts as a side business, it might be important. But I can assure you that yes, deer antler does sell. Now I do have a limited, experience in this area. But think about it like this: if you're visiting craft shows, and I visit a lot of craft shows when I can, I don't see a lot of deer antler being sold. So I don't know, is that a positive or a negative? It could be, though, if you think about it. If you really do a really good job with this, it might be a craft that stands out a little bit more because you don't see it that often. And I'll guarantee you that it does work in some areas. My personal experience with this is making writing pens, and probably my best-selling writing pens have been made with deer antler. They're very popular with outdoorsmen, and you can incorporate this into pen kits that are like cartridge pen kits or bolt action pen kits that work well with the outdoorsman, and those have sold very well. They're also very popular with the knife makers. If you go to some of the craft shows and see the knife makers, they have a lot of their knives and the handles are made out of deer antler. And then jewelry, I'm guaranteed jewelry would be a very big area that would sell. I made some antler earrings, and I've got a good video on this. I made some and gave some to some of my family members, and they were really blown away with those and thought those were really neat. Rings are really popular. I've got a good video out, 2 or 3 videos out there on making rings, and those are relatively easy to make, and you don't have to have a lot of complicated tools to make them. So you might want to go check some of those videos out. But to answer the question, yeah, I do believe that they will sell. Might be a limited audience, but again, you might just stand out because there's not a lot of people out there at craft shows or even online that are selling antler crafts. One thing I do want to say about this is make sure you check with your state laws and just make sure that it is legal for you to sell antler crafts. I know in Georgia it is, but you want to check with your local or state laws and just make sure there's not a conflict or an issue there. Okay, the fifth and last area I think that a lot of people get wrong is they say, well, aren't you exploiting the deer or exploiting the animal? And I get a lot of, when I share some of my antler crafts on social media, sometimes I'll occasionally get people that show the angry emoji, and I'm not sure what's going on there. But I understand people caring about animals and deer, not wanting to exploit them for just products, and I'm not in any way for that. But to go back on what I've talked about earlier in this video, deer shed their antlers every year. So antlers are definitely a renewable resource. So you don't have to be an outdoorsman. You don't have to be a hunter to, get this resource. You can, like I said before, you can go to the woods, your local woods, and hike and look for it at certain times of the year. You can buy these online, pet stores. Most of those, again, are going to come from antler sheds. So that you don't have to worry about the animal being harmed. But I get it and I understand that. And full disclosure, I am a hunter. I don't hunt as much as I used to in years past. I've taken up too many other hobbies here lately with woodworking and YouTubing. But I am not against hunting because I think conservation and hunting do go together. And we've seen that here in the state of Georgia, and the success rate and the population of the whitetail growing so much here in the last 20, 30 years. So I'm not against that, but I just want to let you know that you don't have to be, a hunter. You don't have to be an outdoorsman to enjoy the benefit of working with deer antler. There's a plentiful supply of deer antler out there at your disposal. Well, I hope this video has clarified a few things about working with deer antler. If you haven't given it a try, go give it a try. Try something simple, maybe like making a letter opener. And all you got to use there is maybe a belt sander or something like that to shape and make you something like that. Real easy product to start with. If you want to learn more about the different products that I've done, I've got a whole playlist on Antler crafts, so you can go out there and check out. Some are simple, some are a little more complicated, might involve some different tools. Anyway, I hope you'll give this a try, and we will see you in the next video.